right, how's that working? You talk now, Shamus.
All right. Good morning, Tim.
That works. All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Dirt Drive podcast. We are out here at Blue Bend Campground. We enjoyed a fun night with, or fun night and a full day with the Williamsburg Volunteer Firehouse at their Back Home Festival. The first night was a rip, man.
Back Home Festival.
First night was a rip. We ended up drinking and carrying on with the chief and a bunch of the crew from the firehouse, with Jed and a bunch of other guys, and then kind of cluster fucked it in the morning.
Yeah.
That seemed like a mess. We should have packed up campsite because I didn't know what we were gonna do. I didn't know if we were gonna camp there again last night or if we were gonna get on the road. But in like theory of a good camper, probably should have packed up campsites. They were ready to go, but we didn't, and we kind of
at least get out of there. Don't commit any more felonies. Contributing to delinquency of minors.
Yeah,
the list goes on.
All the above. I had a great trail ride, man. That was fun. Shamus got his first taste of jeeping. Yeah. I guess you've been jeeping before in your.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
You did a lot of jeeping in the old Willys, didn't you?
Yeah.
Old Red Willys.
I had a 4Runner I took out a little bit when I lived in New Mexico. It was pretty big there.
You lived in New Mexico, Colorado, all those places, and you do any adventuring when you're in Colorado, or just skiing and chasing snow bunnies?
Yeah, snowboarding, mountain biking, drinking,
chasing girls,
chasing and laid. Yeah. Let's see. No, not really. I think when I moved to New Mexico, that's took the job in the fire department down there. That's when I got more into it. And I got into racing the 1-2-1600 class, the tube frame rail car, dune buggy, whatever you want to call it.
This was your first taste of, like, I mean, you beat around like Elizabeth furnace in your truck.
Yeah.
But like you had to put it in 4-low for the first time yesterday.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I ever did anything. I think I did a little bit with that Willys, not a ton though. I drowned it once in the river in Nebraska. Yeah, oh yeah.
Pull WD-40 and pull the plugs.
Yeah, it was amazing. We couldn't have been 2 minutes into this ride, and we went down in this first hole in this river, and that thing like all the way in, and then that was it.
Nice. How'd you get it fixed? You just pulled it out and literally just pulled the plugs and sprayed it down.
It's got the old bath air filter in there, so that stops like a lot of that old school. You ever seen that thing? And just had it towed back to my house and dumped every orifice, drained every oil out of it, and filled it back up. Yeah, it really was like it
fired right back up.
Yeah, we didn't have a problem with it at all.
That's what WD-40 was invented for. It was the water displacement. It's called, the WD stands for water displacement. It's the 40th recipe of it.
Wow.
And it was designed for spraying your cap and rotor to get all the water out of it. And then also lubes it up. And then it also worked for other cool things. It was fun, man. Yesterday was a rip. Yeah. And we're just kind of taking it easy today. I kind of got, it was not Laurel Forks, so it was Laurel Run was the one I was talking about, trying to get the name. Laurel Forks is another campground, but the one that we're gonna go past it today is Laurel Run. And I just want to see what that looks like, and then kind of jet over on 39 and run up the BDR to Harrisonburg to Todd Lake area, and then from there get on 81 and go home.
They used to have in Farmington, I just thinking, man, they used to have a 4-wheel drive, a rock crawling event, a place called Chokecherry Canyon.
Yeah, I've heard of Chokecherry Canyon.
Yeah. That was right there in Farmington. I was still in the National Guard. We used to take Humvees up there and try to do the trail. Dude, my buddy, he was sideways. This one, I think it's called the waterfall or something like that. It was just a set of stepped rocks.
Yeah.
And that thing started bouncing sideways. I'm like, if he rolls a Humvee over, like, how do we explain this to anyone?
And how do we get it out? Because the thing weighs fucking 12,000 pounds. No,
it's just going to be smashed to pieces. I mean, half of his fiberglass. He's probably going to be dead. These things had no cages on, running in the military grade stripped down.
There's I don't know the exact crew, but there's a crew that runs. It's like they have obviously military has UTVs now, but there's a crew that runs UTVs and hammers now. So it's spec Humvee or spec UTVs with military personnel running in the UTV class of hammers.
Wow. So the whatever branch of the service is putting that on.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
That's really cool.
they need it, man. The recruitment for the military right now is like a zero. I think my kid is the
The only
16,
one.
the only 16-year-old in the damn country right now who's like, I want to go to the military.
Yeah. Well, half of them aren't eligible.
Yeah.
Fucking, I wasn't eligible, and you think I'm a perfectly healthy human being, and they decided I wasn't. So,
I hope that doesn't happen to him.
that's a the different conversation of how everyone's sick in America now and nobody's eligible for the military.
I'm pretty broke up, but I think I could handle it.
Yeah.
Shit hits the fan, man. I look at Israel, man. Shit
Yeah.
hits the fan. They'll start pulling from wherever they can get from.
Yeah.
8 to 80, blind, crippled, crazy. Come here, I got a gun for you.
Yeah, I'm always impressed, but like Shamus just has such. Shamus as a kid, also Shamus, and little Shamus. He doesn't like to be called, so we'll call him Junior. I don't know.
Yeah.
Your boy, he's got a drive for just like getting out there and doing stuff, which is really cool. Like he's always hockey, lacrosse, ROTC.
Lacrosse is the new thing. Guitar, man. He's picked up, and he's playing guitar. He's actually pretty good.
I was thinking about that, man. I'm like, I'm gonna have an opportunity to stay at home for a little while. We're not gonna talk about why, but I've got the opportunity to stay at home for a little while.
Call it an opportunity, huh?
Yeah, that's what we'll call it right now. And I'm like, I could learn something like that. It'd be fun. Like I do enjoy. I brought a book with me. I was gonna sit here and read this morning. I'm like, no, we should maybe record a podcast if it even works.
I didn't even check. Is the light still on?
Yeah, it should be. Mine is. But I'm like, it'd be fun to learn guitar. Be fucking chintzy to have I like to go overlanding, fly fishing, bring my guitar with me.
Oh man, yeah. You got some hiking boots, some granola.
Just buy me the van now.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I love the vans. They're so cool.
I would definitely have one, man. I'm probably more of a mountain hippie, I guess, because I'd be going to music festivals.
Oh, absolutely. Fucking music festivals in Williamsburg, West Virginia.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's the most interesting music. I've been to quite a few music festivals here in Virginia, and that one
was wild.
I'm not saying no, I'm just saying, huh.
And I was like, I've known Shamus for 5 years now. Yeah, 5 years now, because I started with the county 5 years ago in July. And he always came back with these fucking wild stories. And I realized he just doesn't say no to anything. And that's where all the wild stories come from.
Friday night. I'd like to sample some of the local wares. Okay. That was rough though, man. I paid for that one yesterday.
Yeah, you did. We were so, I mean, both of us got down Friday night. We did surprisingly well in the morning. And I feel fine this morning too.
Yo,
and I had my
better.
So I had my devil share of carcinogens last night. Between the booze and the smoke, I was doing all right. But I don't know. This is gonna be a bad ad, and they're gonna hate me for it.
Yeah.
But the fucking coffee is delicious.
Yeah.
And this is Gearhead Coffee. If you guys want to get Gearhead Coffee, hit the link in the bio, and you get 30% off with the link. We appreciate Gearhead. I mean, they support us. Like if we're going somewhere, I'll shoot them an email, shoot them an Instagram message, and they'll support us and do our adventures as long as we help support them and put their name out. So
yeah, where are they at?
They're at Texas.
Texas.
Yeah, but it's actually a side business for them too, which I realize is they both have day jobs and they run this coffee business on the side and support motorsports on the side. I'm not sure. He's on my guest list. The guy who owns the company. He's on my guest list, and I want to talk to him about like how the hell do you love this so much where you are obviously into motorsports, you work a day job, and then you have a coffee brand on the side, and like
that's like the coffee's just there to get him going so he can keep doing all that.
Exactly.
What kind of motorsports are they?
I don't know.
Oh, you gotta get that guy. Listen to that one.
Yeah. The pain in the ass thing I do, and I understand it's a pain in the ass thing, is I do only in person guests. So I will absolutely not do a digital interview.
Gotcha.
Which kind of limits me, but I think it's cool. You get to meet cool people. I mean, an in-person conversation is so much more fun than a phone call.
Oh, yeah. The teams meet.
Oh,
In my office, man, we literally do Teams meets when the guy's like 2 doors down from me. Like I can hear him talking in his office, and we're talking to him. Like, this is so
so stupid.
stupid, man. Like, just send me home. Like, at that
Yeah.
rate.
Yeah, we did a few virtual interviews and they were fun, but like it just wasn't fun enough. And like the whole reason I'm doing this thing is to have fun and meet cool people. And I think talking to people and meeting people are two very different things.
Mm.
So yeah, no, he's on my guest list. And thank you, Gearhead, for all the support.
Thank you, Gearhead Coffee. So when you need to go out and get white girl wasted and go wheeling the next morning, look no further than Gearhead Coffee.
And that'll be the ad read, I guess.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shamus. But yeah, we got turned up, and last night was super low key, man. That was awesome. I felt like an idiot. We're out here on 90, I think it's 94 in or 92 in West Virginia, Blue Bend Campground, and like it's dead quiet.
Yeah.
I was just like, Seamus was building the fire last night. I would just kind of look up and like, this is fucking so cool. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, no, just being here. I took a few pictures of the Jeep. I'll share those. We're not doing this one on video because I'm using my phone to record the audio.
We are without Wi-Fi.
We are without. I guess I could have done it on video and recorded. And recorded like just turn the camera on and have the little dongle hang off the back. Maybe we'll do that quick. Maybe I'll see if I can get that figured out. We'll be right back. Maybe with video.
What's the odds you get these back and the sound quality of these little $20?
It's fucking so much better than my
than your whole
individual $100 microphones.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're on video now. Hopefully, we're back. You see our little campsite. Seamus finally got a fire going.
Nuts here. This is
we got some coffee rocking. You can hear me doing my granola hippie grinding of coffee, but I enjoy that.
Oh, I've got a grind and brew, man. I put it in there and it grinds it.
Yeah.
I do whole bean grind every morning, and I love it.
Yeah, I do. I've got just a grinder, and then I just have a Keurig. I haven't upgraded yet. I still got the $29 Keurig, and I can't do the K cups, man. Like
I can't either.
Part of me being a conservationist, if you will, is like having that little plastic cup you got to throw away every morning, and that's the only reason I don't do it. I love the convenience of it. But like having a little plastic cup you have to throw away every morning, I'm like, this sucks.
Yeah, man. Take the old thrower, the reusable bags into the store now.
Yeah.
I mean that's like a requirement in Loudon, but even if I'm out in like Strasburg,
you got to pay like 5 cents for a plastic bag if you don't. I just do self-checkout and hit how many bags you use, 0. Granted, I hate self-checkout too. Like, fucking, I don't want. Someone's gonna get paid to do this job. Why the hell would I do it for free?
Yeah, I'm giving you money.
Yeah. Where were we?
I like to give this whole like workers' right, speech about it. But at the end of the day, self-checkout is just like it's a debacle every time.
Oh, every time.
There. And it's probably a lot of operator error, but like I can't find bananas on the produce thing. The barcode isn't scanned. Lady's coming over there for the 5th time. Like, come on, you idiot! And I'm like, I don't.
Yeah.
I put it on the wrong side of the thing, and then it's not registering the weights. Then it's telling me, take the items off. I'm like, off of where?
Off of where? Do what with it?
I don't
get paid for this shit.
Lights flashing red. The whole store's looking at me.
Yeah, we got another pot of water on. I got my coffee grinder going. I enjoy this little fucking thing, man. Like, I try and do it when I'm camping. I try and do as much as analog as possible, and that's why I'm pushing Jed to do like a paper maps route. I think it'd be fun as shit. But yesterday's route was fun, man. It was 100 miles, which I thought. I mean, 100 miles. It took us all of 6 hours. It took us a while. I'm gonna see how far we make it today, but I plan about. I think we'll be moving a little quicker, but I plan on about 80 miles off road and then jump into Harrisonburg and head home. So maybe we'll have 6 hours today. Yeah. Who knows? Unless you have somewhere to be.
No, not that I'm aware of.
So.
Oh, when I get to cell service, I might have somewhere.
Yeah.
But until that time, no.
I'll just leave it turned off, airplane mode the whole time.
I had little grinders like that. It was pretty similar, like a little hand grinder, and it's like the ceramic.
Yeah, it's got the ceramic.
Amazon
again, man. So this is another Amazon product.
Yeah, no, well, I don't know what happened here, but they sent me like a box of like 100 of them. Like
Oh,
I get
nice.
this huge box. I'm like, what the hell is this? Sitting on my front porch. So I called them up and they were like, what is it? And I'm like, grinders. And they're like, you know, it is one of those back and forth. And finally, like, just keep it. So I was handing out little coffee grinders for Christmas.
Nice.
For like 4 years, everybody was getting like a grinder again. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks. I got one for my birthday and for Christmas last year.
And you got them to the kids for their birthdays.
And now we're all
Little
ground
Timmy's
down.
8 now. He needs a coffee grinder. There you go, son.
Something about when you grind something and smell it. It smells so good, no matter what it is. But after you're done grinding, you give it a whiff. You're like,
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Whether it's this or this.
I'm ready for a good time at some point, starting soon.
Yeah, it's funny as I bought all that's the grinder. I have a grinder.
If the audio sucked on that, I apologize.
And I didn't think about that picking up the. You know, here's us talking in the background. But I bought all that stuff and then decided that the smoking was too harsh. But
yeah. But yeah, because I thought I couldn't find this for a while. I think I put it in a coffee cup in my little bag, and I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna have to bring ground coffee. And I mean, it's easier. It's obviously a lot easier, but
yeah,
it's just nice. Like this morning, as I got the inside of the tent broken down and put in the Jeep, and the tent was still up, but the water was going. And I'm like, all right, let me go grind coffee. So I went and stood down by the river and just kind of heard the of the coffee grinder and sat by the river. Saw something swimming up there, a little critter jumping in the water, bopping around. I thought about trying to wade in, but I didn't want to freeze my fucking feet off. It's probably cold in there right now.
Man, I cut the horse yesterday.
That was wild, dude.
So that occurred to me because the night before I said something big was down there by the creek. You know, I told you that.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know what it was. Couldn't see it, but I'll bet it was that guy. But man, that was like something that big. You hear stomping around in a creek while you're laying in a hammock, completely exposed. Like, oh no.
Yeah. Yeah, and when we got there, one of the guys from the firehouse pulled down an electric fence. Were you?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had to. We were driving. I'm like, there's something on the fucking way.
Yeah.
Jammed on the brakes, tore up the field, and then he went down and pulled up the electric fence. So there may be just a herd of critters back there.
I'll tell you, I was going to be
doing critter things.
That guy grabbed that electric fencing. Dude,
that'd have been so great.
What was that? Was Lee, right? That was
Lee.
That was Trump Hat Lee. Yeah,
Trump Hat Lee. That was fun, man.
Oh, he got mad. They were going to burn some hay bales in the backfield, and the old fire chief came down and shut the project down. They were all pissed.
Dude, I was ready to. If they would have set those things off, I was packing up my tent and rolling out.
We gotta go. We gotta move back at least 100 yards.
I don't know if you've ever fought a hail fire, but you said you've done a mulch fire.
Yeah.
And just imagine that times 1,000. It sucks.
Yeah, it's it's like wildland just never goes out.
Yeah. Yeah, wildland. I've done small wildland fires at home, in the Blue Ridge at the Volley house, and just a few hundred yards or half an acre or something. That still sucks. I couldn't imagine a whole fucking mountain.
Just the heat they create is so intense, man. They'll burn the whole tree and then into the ground, the roots and shit. So there'll just be this crater in the ground, a hole in the ground, smoking, and there'll be several. It looks like a war zone.
Yeah.
You know, everything's laying in ash, and there's these black sticks, and then these holes in the ground with smoke coming out of them.
Yeah, and think about the root system burning. Those root systems probably burn forever.
And they'll just sit there and smolder the whole time. I remember one time I drove around in a Dodge one time. It was a 2001. It's great, man. I tore the shit out of that thing. 300 gallons on a flatbed. And anyway, driving in the spot, man, the whole place just burned out, man. Looks like, a Holocaust and nuclear Holocaust. And there's a buck just standing there looking at me like, what do I do now, dude? And I'm like, I don't know, bro.
How the fuck did you get here?
He's like, where are all the groceries? What do I do? And I'm like, I don't know. Head south, I think. I don't know.
That's what everyone else does.
Yeah, I can just tell the look on his face like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah. Oh.
Have you ever seen an elk? They're like the size of a horse. They're big.
We have elk in Virginia.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Down in like south southwestern Virginia, there's like a herd of elk, which is wild.
It's weird how there's stuff like that.
Well, they used to be native across everywhere, and they're just overhunted and
Yeah. Oh, is that what? I didn't know they were native here.
yeah, I think they were native here. I may be wrong. I'm usually wrong,
Yeah.
but I think they were, and then they were overhunted.
Well, I learned not too long ago. I was doing a little nature walk thing with some park rangers at Skyline Drive, and the park ranger there, we'll blame him if this information is incorrect, but he said the coyotes didn't exist here until the railroads. He said they were getting on the trains and riding the trains back, and so there was no coyotes.
Fucking hobo coyotes.
Yeah, it was. Hobos thought they were pets. Come on, boy.
Yeah, and we don't have bobcats anymore, or mountain lions. We may have bobcats, but we don't have mountain lions. So really, I mean, I was just worried about bear. And then there was a few signs coming in here that said warning bear area. And I'm like, all right, see some bear.
I'm not like terribly scared of them. I ran into a handful of them like on the trail.
I've never seen a bear in the wild. I've seen a bear, I guess, crossing a highway, which is frightening. You see a fucking huge bear. I'm like, someone's going to crush that thing and have a horrible day. But I've never seen a bear like out doing stuff. Like out camping or hiking or off-roading. We saw our lion's share of deer yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure the same thing will happen today. But I'm excited. Get on the road. It's been fun camping with you too.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining me on a little adventure.
Yeah, it's bringing the this is it for the summer, man. It's good to get. Hockey season's rolling in, so
Glad to have no free time.
Yeah, I'll be every weekend. I'll be at some ice house somewhere.
Being Mr. Mom.
Yeah.
Just toting the kids around in the Subaru.
The Scissaroo.
Yeah. You I mean, you obviously have the truck. You could do almost, I think everything we did yesterday you could have done in the Subaru. With a set of recovery boards and a winch on the front, you could literally do anything you wanted to. So you don't need to have a Jeep to get out here and have fun. And I think you know that. I mean, you go out camping often and do all that shit. But
is there a way on those trails to spot, like, say, that big obstacle we went over that?
That obstacle was listed on Onyx. So that was, you know how I was telling you about how Onyx has like the labeled trails? That was the blue trail on Onyx. Okay. So you could have clicked on that and it would have given you a description. And it also, sometimes it gives you markers on there, like, hey, at this mile mark, you'll run into this obstacle. Yeah. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. But yeah, that's the map nerd. That's that's sitting on the toilet instead of scrolling Instagram. You're flipping through maps. You're on Onyx, then you're on Gaia, then you're looking at Google Maps, and then you're.
Anybody listening knows that's if you're past a certain age, man, you get on a toilet and you put a map in your hand,
you're screwed.
Yeah, something's gonna go down.
Then I also got, one of the last times I came out, I should have brought with me this time, is I bought a it's like a National Geographic book or something, but it's got all the campsites listed in Virginia, like all the hard sites listed in Virginia and West Virginia. So like, if we're here now, I could be like, hey, we're in section, I think this is section like 3 down here. But we're in section 3. What are some of the hard sites near here so we can figure out what, like where we could go. Like if for some reason every site in this dispersed campground, this is pretty hard camping, but in this dispersed campground was taken, I could have flipped open that book and found the nearest hard site where we could roll in and get a spot. Still got a few minutes. That's the shitty thing about that, man, is it takes forever to boil. I can't afford a jet boil though. Those jet boil things are fucking expensive.
Are they nice?
Oh, they're super nice. And they have the jet boil, like the boiler, like it's got the little butane or whatever pot, and then you just put the thing on it, it boils in 60 seconds. They also have the jet boil just like that, where it flips open and also gets super hot. So
I need that for trail camping.
Yeah.
Is it expensive?
Yeah.
Like $100, $200.
The one like that is like $300. Ooh, the one that flips open, it's like $300. That was $65, and I got it for Christmas. We did Oh no, not the Stanley, the stove part.
I got you.
The Stanley was like $23 or something.
So funny. I tell you the story about the Nogi, my partner, girlfriend. She's from Israel. She doesn't understand a lot of American things, and she thought that
I don't understand a lot of
yeah.
American
So,
things.
and I'm a big hockey guy. My son plays hockey, and this Stanley Cup last year came up, and she was confused and thought that the
Oh
players
God.
were all getting the new Stanley mugs that were all the
Oh
rage.
Jesus.
I was like, it's coincidental, maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I
Maybe
don't
there's a
know.
connection. There probably is some connection to it. Lord Stanley also invented a hell of a thermos at some point, I guess. I don't know.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not. I do the budget thing right now. As I'm the first expensive piece of camping gear I'm buying is going to be at Expo. And it's going to be that Gazelle tent. Fucking $300 for a tent seems ridiculous, but after struggling with that thing for 2 nights in a row and just being able to pop it up in 30, I think it's like 60 seconds, you'll pop that up and just move in. It'll be worth it.
Oh yeah.
And then maybe I'll get into the cook stuff. But there's still some outfitting I want to do on the Jeep. Like we don't have a table, so there's a bunch of companies that make tailgate tables. So you open the door and then it swings down.
Oh, nice.
Also, a few $100. A roof rack for when things get tight in the Jeep, like with the dogs and everything. So you can start throwing stuff on the roof. That'll be really the next big things I do to other than suspension upgrades. You guys listen to our $1 million Dana 30. Hopefully you listen to our $1 million Dana 30 episode. On Labor Day, I rebuilt the front end of the Jeep. Ball joints, unit bearings, universals in the axle shafts, brakes, sway bars. I don't know where I was going with this, but fuck, what were we talking about?
What upgrades you were doing next?
Oh yeah, that's right. $1 million Dana 30. So I spent my legitimately $700 to put all those parts on, and it did good this weekend. It's still breaking in. I didn't realize. The wife drove it after I did all that work, and she was like, "This thing drives like shit." And I'm like, "I noticed it a little bit, but I'm glad you noticed too. Let me figure it out." So I called Tom, and apparently those heavy duty ball joints have a break-in period, and I think they're broken in now after beating them around 100 miles yesterday. We'll see how it rides. I'm gonna leave it aired down and everything until we get to Harrisonburg. I'm gonna only air down to 25, but give it another good beating today, and then get home, and I'll probably take a beating, but that's all right. Where were you? I don't know. Wherever I wanted to be. I'm sorry. I love you.
Yeah, the old better to beg for forgiveness and ask for permission.
Exactly.
Routine.
That's why I didn't give her a time on what time I would be home.
That's how you.
And she also didn't ask this time, which is nice.
Those are the keys to maintaining a marriage, you know. Beg for forgiveness instead of asking for permission.
Yep.
Lie, deny, counter, accuse. That one's very important. That's how you keep it going.
Yep.
Where have I been? Where have you been? I haven't been anywhere.
What would you change about? Because Shamus is sleeping in a hammock. I can show you guys here in a little bit when we get up. What would you change about the hammock for the cold weather stuff?
Oh, dude.
I mean, it's not even that cold. It's mild.
No, it did well. Just like you were saying, the bags. I think it's 25. So I didn't really get cold, but that fleece underneath it, because where I'm laying on it and on top of the hammock,
yeah,
that cold infiltration right there was pretty good. But if I just rolled over,
yeah, and that's really what stopped me is I want to get a rainfly for it because E&O sells rainflies and they sell the quilts.
Oh, those are in the buy box in Amazon.
So because I'd love to. I mean, that'd really cut down on my space. Like if it's just me going out, like the two of us, we're not sharing a tent, we're not doing any of that stuff. I could cut down half my gear. I know I've already got my tent. Not my tent. I've already got my hammock. It's already in here. So I just need to get the quilt and the rainfly. And I think I'd probably use the quilt I don't know. Probably wouldn't use it all year round. But dude, last night I was cold and I zipped up my little feet vent and I zipped the bag all the way up to the top and it was a 25-degree bag. And I woke up fucking sweating.
Oh,
dude, I was sweating bullets. And I'm like, oh my God. So I sat up, undid my things, just kind of sat on the cot in the tent for a minute. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna cool down. And then I left the foot vent unzipped the rest of the night and I slept with the thing unzipped. But I was cold going to bed, man.
Yeah, it was. It was.
And that's when I realized, when I woke up and was sweating, that's when I realized it was fucking dead quiet out here. Not nothing.
Yeah, it was occasional car on the road. It had one of them like I woke up and had no idea where I was at situations, and
Yeah.
before like, I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on?
Where am I?
No, that was great. This is and like I want to do, like I said, I want to do some overnight hiking trips.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be really good for
And
that.
it's perfect, man. Sleeping bags probably the
Yeah, bring my when I do my hiking trips like up and down um the AT by the house, I'll throw my uh fucking hammock in my backpack just in case just in case I need to sit down, do anything. I can hang up the hammock and like have a nice place to sit, hang out for a little bit,
yeah.
recoup because that part of the AT is brutal. So you hit a section of the roller coaster and you're like, all right, I'm done and this rock isn't cutting it. You hang up the hammock and sit in that.
Yeah, it goes it stays in my little day hiking pack. Yeah, whenever I'm hiking, it's with me. Get to wherever I'm going, I usually find a place to throw
Yeah.
it out and relax.
The other thing is thing that I want to get into more is I did a longer, I wouldn't say a not kayaking like you did, but I did a longer kayaking trip this year. So I do like an overnight kayaking trip from like um fuck, I'm so bad with words this morning. Um from front like starting Front Royal on the Shenandoah
Yeah,
and try and get to the house. That would probably be an overnight kayaking trip. That'd be
yeah,
a
it's a
long
lot.
paddle.
It's a lot of flat water.
Well, I like the flat water.
Yeah,
The rapid stuff is, I mean, I don't have a rapids boat, but
yeah.
I've got a I bought my kayak in like 2012, 2013, and it's just a fishing kayak. And I don't do fish. I don't fish, but I did at the time. We had the Beaver Dam Reservoir was right near the house,
Yeah, yeah.
and I'd go out there fishing. I wouldn't catch anything, but it'd give me time to get away from everyone. And even then, I didn't put it together. But even then, I like to be out in the wilderness. I just wasn't quite sure how yet.
Yeah, it's yeah, it's funny you mentioned. I grew up like my parents didn't take us doing a lot of camping or any of that stuff either, and I don't know. There's a generation at this now that are like definitely
Yeah.
want to get out here and do it. We're like, yeah, there's
Well, we were camping a bunch, like with the Boy Scouts. In the jeeping, we did power lines, and then I had a dirt bike. So the power sports started early. Like when we lived in Chesapeake, the house we were in was in a subdivision neighborhood, so we had neighbors stacked on neighbors. But behind us was a farm, and my dad knew the farmer, and he let us ride the dirt bikes on the roads around the fields and everything. So having the motorsports tie in with the Boy Scout stuff really happened for me, and like right around the time I met you in like 2017, 2018, 2019. It's fun as shit.
yeah. I mean, well, think about it. My brother and I used to build tree forts all the time. We'd stay in
Oh
them
yeah.
things. My buddy and I went. We built the tree fort and we stayed the whole summer there. Like we never came in the houses. That was our house.
Some Tom Sawyer shit right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we built tree forts. We did a lot of paintballing. But at the Chesapeake house with the farmer behind us, we also had like a little bit of brush, like just like this, I guess woods area.
Yeah.
And we do paintballing in the woods and do. We would never camp out there, but we would do. My dad built us a tree fort, and he did a zip line, fucking wild Mike. He did a zip line that went over our above ground pool from the tree fort over the above ground pool to a tree.
You missed that landing. You might pass.
Yeah. Yeah, anything with an above ground pool is sketchy. If you do an above ground pool and a homegrown zip line, hell yeah, I'm about it.
What we did, my buddies and I tried to do. We were like, 11, 12 years old. We were riding bikes down to the hardware store and buying like cotton rope and being like, this is gonna work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how many times that zip line broke and I fell out of that tree. I probably took about 5 or 6 good diggers out of that tree.
Yeah.
It was up there.
Yeah, if and when we have a kid, I'm excited to see what they get into at the house, because we've got 3 acres of hills and we got a creek and I'll have everything. So I'm excited for my nephew. I'm building my nephew he's 1.5. I'm building him a Milwaukee powered Power Wheels.
Oh yeah, nice.
So he can rip around in it. He's just starting to get motor function. I think he'll be able to do it.
So what do you do with that? Because
I don't know. I'm gonna watch some YouTube videos and figure it out.
Yeah, I was always
you need to get, so the batteries are the most expensive part. I got the Power Wheels that I have at an auction for $50. Then the battery is like a good battery, like a 12 amp hour battery, big. It's like $350 for a battery. Then you just buy the adapter. Then you need to buy an inverter to take it from 18 volts to 12 volts, and then you can get another. It's not an inverter, but it's some sort of voltage regulator or amperage regulator where you can turn it down. So like when the kid hits the throttle, like just gives it a little bit, and you can turn it up. And the kid hits the throttle, it fucking spins and goes.
Oh wow,
that's really getting into it. That's honestly probably what I'll do. It won't be that big of a project, but because I've already got a bunch of batteries. I don't know if I'm willing to sacrifice any of my batteries, but my brother will get the the car all built up. I'm like, all right, now go to Home Depot and buy your kid a battery.
Man, my kids had a bunch of them. I don't know. My dad's stepmom.
Oh shit! Check the coffee.
The fire truck was the one, man. I wanted. Somebody gave me.
Oh yeah, we're cooking now.
A Hot Wheels fire truck for a wedding present.
Where's that coffee at? Where's that coffee at?
I don't know, but I'm ready.
It's gonna be a minute. It's still got to steep.
Take this opportunity to blow the fire. Needed the money. You can hear the water just boiling out of this wood.
Are you hungry at all? We just want to get on the road and try and end up somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not feeling it, but I guess I don't want it to be like yesterday where.
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna go through a town. I can make it so we go through a town.
All right. Yeah, then I'm good.
Okay. Gearhead Coffee. Here's your coffee cup. Oh. Here's your coffee cup.
I'll take the whole thing.
Okay, that's fine. Take it. I'm good with what I got.
All right.
Ooh. It's probably hot on the bottom.
Oh, yeah, it is hot. Good thinking. Help me out there. I was thinking that was insulated for some reason.
No.
Look, I just saw it on the fire, too.
Boiling. Ripping.
Oh,
let me see this. It's not bad.
Yeah, we should have put the bag of Gearhead Coffee on there.
That's fine. I ain't got to do that. They're not paying me to do that yet. I'm working with them. I'm waiting for a phone call.
This is not the first time I've been an ancillary member of a social media campaign. I don't know if I told you the.
Really?
Yeah, the guy Bobby that does the whitewater kayaking in the pandemic. It's like I was always up his ass about taking me out, and he was like, "Dude, I don't want to take out some guy I know." Like I could tell because this guy's I've heard people describe him as the best whitewater kayaker on the East Coast. Unsolicited, they just like, oh, you know that guy? He's got to be the best whitewater. But he sponsored by a company called Dagger Kayaks, and he has to do so much like Instagram and all that. Well, when the pandemic broke out, I was his next door neighbor, and he's like, "Well, this is all I got, so this is what I'm doing." He'd take me out, and we'd do all kinds of like. I did some a lot of pictures for him.
Yeah. But
had a guy with a drone one time. That was really cool. Took the drone out and did that kind of stuff.
drones are cool, man. If I think if we would have had a drone yesterday and saw some of those views from above the tree line where we're at, it would have been amazing. But I also don't want to spend $1,300 on a drone right now. I got to buy another $100 mic, and I need to get a decent camera, so I'm not using my cell phone. But yeah, we got another cup of coffee. We may break this fire down here and get on the trail, but short episode this week. I appreciate you guys listening. I think we got the video figured out. If this audio sucks, this will not be an episode. If it doesn't suck, then it will be an episode. We'll figure it out when we get there. Yeah, I don't know what day this comes out. I think this is the middle of September. But if you guys are interested, we'll be at Overland Expo here coming up. Come out and say hi. We'll be camping with the F-Bomb Overlanders. We got a bunch of good interviews and podcasts coming up. If you like more of Shamus, too fucking bad. This is the last time he's on.
Yay!
No, we'll definitely have Shamus on again. He's a good time. He's definitely got a lot more stories. I just don't want to waste. I think it's damn near 10 o'clock, and I don't want to waste too much time this morning bullshitting. So I can get on the trail so I can actually get home at a decent hour. But I appreciate you guys listening. Share us with your friends. Share us with your family. Like, subscribe, comment, help the algorithm. Let us know what you want us to do. I told you I was gonna. I didn't tell you. I made a post on YouTube about potentially doing a video of this trip. I think this is I think the podcast are gonna be the only videos you get. I just enjoy being out here too much to look at my phone and worry about capturing content. I brought my silly little camera, so I've got some good pictures on my silly little camera. That's it. Appreciate you guys for listening, and we will see you guys next week. Finish drinking this cup of coffee and get on the road.
One cup of coffee, then I go.